And in the back, we got mainly two layers that we want to look at. We got the main erector spinae layer. Those are these big back muscles that go up. Then you can see these ropes going up and down the back. They are multiple muscles. They are made up of the iliocostalis, the longissimus, and the spinalis muscle. We just call them erector spinae collectively. But when you look at, generally speaking, the ilio means ilium, costalis means rib. So that muscle goes basically from the hip up to the ribs. So it's the most outside. Then the longissimus muscle goes from the pelvis to more or less transverse processes. And that's a long muscle in the middle section. And then the spinalis is right by the spine. The spinous processes. So that's how I remember that as spinalis. When you look at what they do, is they extend the spine, they pull it back, but they also laterally flex it, and they control forward bending. They hold the trunk open and pull back forward. And that brings me to the deeper muscle on the back, and there's actually two of them. We talk about the multifidus. And the multifidus muscle, and together with the rotatories muscles, they basically go from transverse process area to spinous process. Some just go one level up, those we call them the rotatories muscles, rotators, and some go multiple levels up, and those are known as the multifidus or multifidus muscles. So TP to SP to TP. No, actually, yeah, no, wait. Yeah, no, it goes from between the SP and the TP down here, so it's more outward. So actually, you cross out the SP to make it less confusing, because the lumbar spine is an area called the manual process. That's the place in between. We didn't study that. So if you say it goes from the TP to the SP, you know it goes from the outside to the inside. That's it. And it goes a few levels above the multifidus muscle. It extends the spine. This one tilts the spine to the same side, and it rotates to the opposite side. But what's crucial for this muscle, it stabilizes spinal joints segmentally. So this muscle, there's so many of them, it can make sure that each segment can move independently of what it needs to do, and it protects it that way. The erector spinae muscles, they are large muscles. They just move the whole thing around. The multifidus muscles are small, and they can protect the spine in an area segmentally. Does that make sense then? Good. And when we look at that muscle, it's right here in that area. And if you see this area here, that's the disc, that's the trunk. When you see this area here on an MRI, it's right here. And you see this is very nice and black. That's muscle tissue that functions. What we have found in the orthopedic studies, that if we have back pain, that muscle goes to waste. And it becomes not muscle tissue, but it gets white, and that's basically fatty infiltration. Not fat as in fat, but adipose tissue as in non-contractile tissue, non-functional tissue, cheaper tissue for the body. So that's important to know. So if you're a chronic pain sufferer like me, on back pain, you gotta somehow make this again. And the cool thing is we can go from deconditioned tissue with fatty infiltrations back to muscle tissue. Just by swimming, yeah. And how do we exercise muscles ideally? It's we exercise them without stability. So if you exercise this muscle back here, if you do it over a gym ball that wiggles a little, you have to stabilize. If you do it in a machine that straps in, all you do is this, it's just to make the muscle bulky, but you don't train its use that much. Yeah, plus the agility need, the need to balance, brings the brain into account that you need to use that muscle. If you just train a muscle like, oh, let's listen to some music and just go like that, it's just making it bulky. Might as well put electrodes. So the multifidus is really cool. And so this is the exercise I give patients at the office to prevent back pain, or one of them, Superman. But what we do now is we go a little bit to the breathing muscles for a moment. We have a couple of those. We have muscles that help with inspiration, and then we have muscles that help with expiration. We look at inspiration. The main muscle actually for inspiration is the diaphragm. That's right here. We can do that first. It's like a dome-shaped or like a parachute-shaped muscle that reaches into the chest. From underneath, when you look underneath, it looks like this. Or when you see it, when you have an exhale, it's nice. Exhale, it's nice and goes up and below. And so as that muscle contracts, it's attached in the surrounding area here, which is what? It circles around the internal body wall of the trunk, ribcage, called the cartilage, size for the protein bodies. So it's attached around here, and its insertion is a central tendon. So when it contracts, it basically pulls itself down. These contract, so that whole thing comes down. And that increases the lung volume. When the lung volume increases, air wants to come in. The lungs are attached to the chest wall. When the chest wall expands, the lungs, they get bigger. So that will pull air in. It's like a vacuum. Well, you don't perforate the diaphragm. You perforate the linings between the chest and the lung tissue. And then that decreases the suction of the lungs to the chest wall, and it collapses the lung. It's like the vacuum gets lost. And so that's an atelectasis. That's what happens with the collapsed lung.
So you don't really damage the diaphragm. The ones that get perforated. So the diaphragm.
The diaphragm's fine. It's passage from systemic perforation. We don't breathe that well. So when we want to breathe and bring oxygen to the tissues, and it's good to bring oxygen to the body. I mean, I had a patient, she was it's like, maybe you do some validating with good, stupid. Why would I be stupid? She's like, why would that work? I'm like, oh, let me think. And so why would it work? This is the main breathing muscle. If you use this muscle to breathe, and you can train it by having a book or so, you see it go up and down. Then you just biofeedback. Cheap biofeedback. You bring more oxygen to the tissues when you breathe with the diaphragm. You don't do this. That's your intercostals breathing. That's these muscles breathing. The intercostals, the externals, they're attached up here and then down here. So they pull the ribs up. So the chest goes this way. That's the intercostal, external intercostal. You don't expand the lung that much doing that. You expand the lungs much more, or you bring much more oxygen in, air into the lungs, then you decrease, you bring the diaphragm down. And more oxygen, guess what? More energy, guess what? More healing capacity of the body, guess what? Healthier. And so that's why it's important. So the external intercostals and the diaphragm do the main inspiration for it. Expiration is mostly a passive process. Like they just call it. When we force inspiration, we can force inspiration, bring more air in, we use muscles like the cervicalomuscular pulling up, and like scalers pulling up the ribs. We have muscles down here, the stomach pulls the stuff down, so we expand the ribs as much as we can. That's forced inspiration. We can do that with inspiration, we can also do that with expiration. One of the main muscles when we do it with expiration is the internal intercostal. And the internal intercostal go from the superior rib, the superior border of the inferior rib to the one above. The inferior border of the superior. It sounds really goofy. But what that does, it pulls the superior rib down. And that collapses the ribs more, makes them smaller. So they're stacked on top. And that's the breathing. And so forced expiration also uses a whole bunch of muscles other than the internal. Can use the stomach, can contract it more, anything that brings it down like that. Everything that brings it up like that is called an inspirator, everything that brings it down like that is called an expirator. And that brings us to the gut. We have a few layers of gut. And the gut, use this model for the gut.